Welcome back to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. We talk facts and feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomont. Before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as the video goes on, please be sure to drop a comment and let me know your thoughts of the content. The Indiana Fever came off a 99-93 win in overtime at Connecticut, a win that was just a win, but has been turned into something that's way more than it is. The excitement, the praise, the oh my God, what a win, what a comeback, blah, 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 blah. And then the post game clock, locker room tears from Stephanie White, the emotions, the pride, all that other bogus nonsense we've been listening to now for a number of weeks of how proud she is and how much and how emotional it is. Blah 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 blah. Here we are, 19-16, with 9 games left, coming off of winning one of three, in which those were the 3 games over a stretch that they should have won all 3 of them, but seemingly are never ready to play or fall apart down the stretch. One way or the other, they are lucky to have not lost 3 straight games. And Stephanie White had her post-game press conference. I have not seen it. I'm watching it blindly with you guys, and I'm going to comment on it as we go. As you know, we jumped onto Sunday Night Heat yesterday, right after the game, and I want to hear what she has to say and respond to it. Maybe I'll be shocked. I'm sure I won't be, but we'll see. Let's take a listen right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's speechless, really. What, 0 for 7 in the first half and 4 points and just put us on our back. Made big shot after big shot, big play after big play. She didn't settle. She stayed aggressive, and she willed us.
What is it about this group, the resiliency, things like what happened this week? What is it about them that seems to bring the best out of them?
It's gonna be hard to talk about without getting emotional. I mean, first and foremost, they're good human beings. They're selfless. They're tough. They don't care who gets the credit. They don't care whose day it is.
That's a lie. They care. That's such a lie. They care who gets credit. There's a reason Dewana Bonner took off from this team. She cared. There's a reason that Natasha Howard, at the beginning of the season, said she was going to be an MVP. She cares. There's a reason Kelsey Mitchell takes every shot she wants. She cares. At least those 3 people I know for sure care. Aaliyah Boston, she cares. They all care. It's abnormal to not care, actually. But they do care. And to sit here and act like they don't care who gets credit for it, well, we can agree to disagree. Because you seemingly cared a whole lot to make sure that Caitlin didn't take the shots when she was playing. You made sure to not compliment Caitlin when she was playing, when she carried you on her back. But let's continue.
They got something inside them that you just can't teach. And, they bring it out of each other. And it allows us to go through these incredibly tough times that we're going through, and always gives us a chance. And I'm just so incredibly proud of them for continuing to believe, for continuing to pull together, for continuing to step up. I mean, every single person on this roster impacts winning for us. And every single person on this roster is valued for how they impact winning, whether they play a second or not. They give and give and give to this team. And I'm thankful for this group.
So here we go again with how proud she is of this team and how resilient this team is. Tell me about the resilience when they lost to Washington. or the resilience when they lost to Dallas. I get the resilience commentary is so old and tired. It's kind of exhausting to listen to. It's kind of irritating and annoying to listen to, actually. And I really don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. It's old and it's nonsense. And it just gets to be like, is that what happens when they're getting blown out in the first half of a game? Why are they never prepared? Or why are they prepared for one half but not prepared for another half? Why are they good for the second quarter but not for the first quarter? Why are they good for the fourth quarter but not for the third quarter? What is the problem here? Well, let's continue.
When it came to actually being able to make the comeback happen, more like the basketball side of things, what did you see your team be able to accomplish on both sides of the floor?
We started setting screens. We took care of the ball. I mean, there's no defense for the transition opportunities we were giving them off of our turnovers in the first half. We gave ourselves a chance by taking care of the ball. We kept our floor spacing. We stayed aggressive to the rim. We forced them to defend multiple actions instead of just one. I think you're beginning to see, Odyssey get comfortable and everybody around her get comfortable with her on the floor. The decision making I thought was really good. Our activity level was really good, and we locked in and honed in on our details defensively, and that's what we're going to have to do. And we made some big shots when we needed to. We got some huge timely stops when we needed to. I thought Bree Turner's defense was incredible. She did a great job coming in the second half and giving us length, giving us versatility. We locked in and got it done.
This game felt big. I mean, you were talking about one game at a time, the congestion in the standings. Were you all feeling that in the moment of that pressure to, not let one get away?
No, I mean, maybe some of that stuff was happening before the game. I don't know. We talked in our locker room about this is the most important game for us. And Connecticut is our most important opponent. We cannot look too far ahead. We don't have the luxury of that. And we've got to make sure that we're continuing to stay locked into the moment, and then I think when Sophie went down, it was another blow, right? It's another gut punch, and it took us a little bit. And, fortunately, we were able to come in at halftime and regroup and, reemphasize that we have enough and that we've got to continue to do the things that it takes for us to be successful. And that starts on the defensive end. It starts with us making sure that we're locked into our scout. It allows us to get out in transition. And our players just made great plays.
So I hear her mention Sophie Cunningham injury. Sophie Cunningham did not get hurt in the first quarter. She got hurt in the second quarter. She played 10 minutes. They were already down double digits. This is the most important game, and yet you scored 11 points in the first quarter in the most important game of the season against the worst team in the league. How do you explain that? How do you explain an inability to stop a bad team coupled with an inability to put the ball in the basket against a bad team? That was the first quarter, 11 points, down 13 going into the second quarter. They actually got better in the second quarter. They scored 18 points in the second quarter. Still ended up being down 19 at the half. But how do you explain the awful start? Why can't you explain it? Why can't you figure this out? Isn't this your job? And please do not blame Sophie Cunningham getting hurt as a gut punch, because you were already getting gut punched by them before she got hurt. So I lose any empathy, and I don't want to hear the response when there's no acknowledgement or acceptance or accountability. This has been a long-standing issue with this team and with her as a leader of his team. There's a lack of accountability that never seems to stop. They're never accountable for mistakes. It's always something. It's the referees. It's this. It's that, and the other. It's an injury. It's that. It's never. They kicked our ass, and that crap is unacceptable. And it starts with me. God, that's such an easy thing to say, yet she's never said it. And this is the one game where she could say it and actually say it in a win. and she still won't say it in a win. That's what pisses people off when you listen to her talk. She can't even acknowledge accountability in a W.
No, you have an update on this?
Ready? Yeah.
No,
Want to do more like ever.
yeah, MRI tomorrow.
Sorry, what's going through your mind when you see her down like that and you know, you're jogging over there?
I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you know, especially the way that she fell and, you know, how she was holding herself and how much pain she was in. You know, at the time, it's like crap. And then you go down there and you see her and it's like, okay, just want her to calm down and be able to regroup. And then it turns to problem solving, right? It's how we put ourselves in position to win. What do we need to do? You know, I think maybe that's how I survive is going straight to problem solving. But you know, again, this group is just, they're special and I'm thankful for them.
Thinking back on the student issue, maybe this. And I appreciate when she's
Mhm.
I think her clutch shots in the fourth inning of overtime helped contribute to this winners. They clearly necessarily shot. If you could just talk about her play issue and what she's contributed since she's been here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, there's a reason that she's here. Her ability to break down defense, get to the rim, to be a playmaker for herself and for others. She's a scorer and she's a scoring point guard. And we knew that we needed that. You know, I felt like early she was being thrown in and she might have been a little nervous, looked like a little nervous, little jitters. And you know, I give, you know, Karima and Austin and Bree all coached her in AU. And give Karima a lot of credit. Karima had some conversation with her about, look, the reason that you're here is to be you. And talking about, you know, how she impacts our team and how she can impact winning for us. And she's continued to get more comfortable and continued to get better. And she was huge for us. You know, not just her playmaking ability getting to the rim, but I mean, 19-7. You know, her ability to find the right read, her ability to manage the clock in game situation. You know, in the fourth quarter and in overtime, it was big. You know, we depend on her. And she's continuing to grow in her role with us.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more reception.
Yeah. It meant a lot. I mean, there's so many special people here and so many special memories that I have. And whether it was walking out in the casino or, you know, coming in and behind the halls here, you know, pregame, just seeing so many friendly faces and in the stands, it melted my heart. I'm so thankful. Obviously, you know, I didn't get to talk to Jen, but seeing Jen across the way too, I mean, it's a special place, and I'm grateful to have had my time here, and thankful for you know, all these familiar faces that I saw.
Hey, good. I was just wondering when you took the job in Indiana and decided to ask the staff to go with you, particularly like Keith, because he's from here and I read the paper from his hometown. But what was it about, like the staff in general? Like you guys were so close, Austin and Keith and Bree, like how was it having them go with you? And did that make the transition even easier?
I mean, first of all, they're great at what they do. You know, there's so many layers and nuance to coaching in our league. And they are so good at what they do. And, you know, I really feel like we have 3 head coaches on our sideline. You know, Bree and Austin are going to be great head coaches in this league. You know, when they get their opportunities. You know, Keith, I didn't know if I'd be able to peel Keith away from Connecticut. You know, he is absolutely excellent in player development and growing into, you know, coaching role. You know, I know that I have such a rich history and trust with everybody, with Karima, because Karima is how I met Austin. Austin and Bree, especially with those 3 right there, such a rich history. I trust them wholeheartedly. I believe in them wholeheartedly. And with Keith too, continuing to grow him into a coaching role while relying on him to help our players get better. He's got such a good rapport with players. He's got such a good communication style. He's so detailed in what he does. We have a great group, and you know, and you know, we're talking about our team being resilient. You know, it's our staff too. we've got a really good staff that stays together, that believes in one another, that leads by example, and quite honestly has been through nearly every situation that these players are going to go through in our league. We've been here, we've played in it, we've done it, we've been through injury, we've been through all the things. So I'm just, again, continue to be incredibly grateful for the people that I'm surrounded by.
When you have a game like this, that you had to come back down from Chicago, then you go into overtime in the game. I think you guys don't have the games on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So how much is the benefit that you guys have to play more games on Friday? How does it benefit you for your players to get pressed?
Well, it's huge. I mean,
Fuck that. They better be practicing every fucking day. Rest? Fuck that. They better be practicing every fucking day. You rest when you die. You don't have to fucking rest for 4 days. They better have real practices for 4 days. They need practice. They better not have a 2-day off, 2 practice deal going on here. They better be practicing every goddamn day. If I hear anything different than that, I'm going to lose my shit. And I'm already losing it right now because here's a media member asking about rest. Rest for what? You played 1 home game and 2 road games. You're at home. You better be practicing 2 hours a day, bare minimum. Watching film. But we'll see what she says.
I think we've, when you look at some of the standings and we've played a game or 2 games, more than anybody else. We're kind of front loaded in some of the things that we did. And, we need the rest. We need the recovery. We had players that played a lot of heavy minutes. So we need that. And we also need time to kind of recalibrate. After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out, how we're going to play.
Hey, Steph, give him the week off. Hey, just give him the week off. Come back Friday to play. Give him the week off. They don't got to practice. You got to rest. You got to recover. You got to recalibrate. Just give him the week off. Don't bother. Don't waste anyone's time. Like, this is insanity. They should be working every day of the week. Practice every day of the week. This is the first time they've had a gap of days where they can just practice. No one's saying here, kill yourself, but actually practice.
Without, Ari and Sid. And now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Solo. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice, right? So it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us. And then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need. Thank you. Thank you.
You're damn right. You're going to need it. You're damn right. You're going to need it. You're damn right. You're going to need that practice time. Practice. Typical. Nothing surprising. Pride, blase, blase. It is what it is. Not a shock. Typical answers. But anyhow, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant. Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings, man. And be sure to join us tomorrow night on our live at 9 p.m. where we chop it up, bro. But as always, appreciate y'all. God bless, man. Come on now.